Ooh. It's going to be a wonderful day. It's going to be a wonderful day. Why? Because we have the goods. We have the goods. Yeah. Oh, we got it, boys and girls. We got it. It's going to be good. Finally, BN gets an exclusive. That's all I'm saying. Finally, we get an exclusive. That's it, man. No! It ruined it. It ruined. Oh, and I have to scroll. You piece of shite. How dare you offer me a bundle? Whatever. We'll scroll. We'll work our way all the way back to where. Damn it! I knew I should have replied. I wish there was a way to forward myself a message so I could save the spot. Whatever. I'm shocked because I was sitting there for like 9-10 hours at that spot because I found out where it started in World Chat. Whatever. We'll work our way back here as we go. But yeah, fam, listen. If you're here, man, we were kindly shared, I should say. We were kindly shared the Diplo VC. And when I say VC, it was the entirety of the VC. So we're going to listen to that in a bit. Of course, we're going to allow for you degenerates, you peons to get in. We're going to go through KvK World Chat because I'm going to be honest. The screenshots I showed, I don't think really did World Chat justice. I think it gave you a very small, tiny taste of what World Chat in KvK1 really has to offer. So we're gonna go through that for a bit, and then a little later on, we are going to show you the VC that was shared with me. Now, from what I understand, this is. Peasy, what's up, baby? Let's see how much Dark edited this audio. We have the full one. Yeah, so I have a full one, right? From what I understand, and I listened to it. I did not catch any breaks or cuts in it. I think it's about 30 minutes or something or so that I have that was shared with me. And I have some clips that were shared with me as well. Well, I listened to some of the clips, then I went back and listened to the full thing. So it doesn't seem as though anything was necessarily taken out of context. So yeah, you guys are going to be able to hear basically from the IMFS, the YSS, and the NTS side. Yeah, because I had asked some people about it. I asked some people about it because some people were saying that like it doesn't really get good and start till the end. I guess the end of it, which apparently I guess it does. But also there's actually a couple parts there where Mark speaks in English because Ma is speaking in Russian, and he goes in to essentially translate. So again, I'm going to share that with you guys as well. Yes, sweetie. Hi. No. Oh, you want to come sit? I know, Daddy's listening to some music. What? You want to listen? Oh, okay, here we go. You know how to put it on? It's just songs, though. No. You want to watch something? Well, you can do that. And then Daddy will Yeah, Daddy was trying to listen to music. Had some Backstreet Boys playing, ruining it. Oh, here, you want to go this? Here we go.
No.
Oh, what do you want? Oh, here, go. You go. So Daddy can, so we can get it on. Get it on like Donkey Kong, if you know what I mean. Yeah, because we about to, we're going to lay it all out there. It's going to be so good. So good. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, yeah. Smashing barrels. Wait, what? No. I'm sorry. Come on. No, that's for you. That's for you, sweetie. You listen. You listen. I'm okay. Thank you, though. Okay. I'm okay. Thank you, though. Okay. Sure, why not? I feel like I'm being put on this. Oh, am I here? Okay. Hang on. We're gonna have to start scrolling while we work our way. That's too loud, sweetie. Thank you, though. Lagersource, what's up, man? Give us the tea. We will be shortly. So we're gonna go through some world chat messages once I finish working my way back up and scrolling, because we apparently sadly lost our place. As I had it all queued up. We got the full voice recording queued up too as well, so we're already set there. Already got it started from the beginning. Again, we'll play that in a minute. Was 8:33? Okay, cool. So I'm actually not that lost. Here, you want this on? Then you gotta go down like this, boom, boom, and like that. Boom, there you go. My thing here. There we go. 8:33. All right, let's scoop. We're gonna go to here. Boom. Bundles are more important. I get it. Don't worry. I get it. Don't worry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm pretty excited. Again, we haven't really got. Haven't really got. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm tripping. I should post this. What am I doing? I'm in KvK1 on my own. We might as well post it, and then we can scroll and work our way. Hypno, what's up, man? Strafer, what's up? KvK chat exists. I'm used to seeing people messages of being recalled and silenced. Everyone's smashing the report button. Strafer, we saw your Alls announcement. You aren't going to zone lock us. Little bro, calm down. Unless we decide to fight Shulk. Let me see. Oh man, I gotta load that. Okay, we'll keep going. Nice. And thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. Straight for easy so long. Raskin, you leak it now. Nah, man. All in due time. All in due time. We got to give the people an opportunity to join, so that way, if they would like to partake in the listenings, they are more than. You see what I did there? It's almost like the reaping, but we called it the listenings. We will give people an opportunity to join up. So I figured that's why it's a great chance to go through a little bit of world chat as we. I gotta work my way up here and scroll, but we'll get there. But again, man, it's pretty good. I mean, I was somewhat shocked with it when I kind of saw some of the postings, and I think, again, I haven't listened to the whole VC recording yet. I've only kind of just skimmed it, because some people said initially it was all in Russian except for like the last 2 minutes or so, and then when I was listening to it, that wasn't the case. It was, like I said, it was Ma who was speaking in Russian, who's the kind of ex NTS R5. And then I believe Mark was there translating, because I remember his voice. And then from there, Mark Mark would talk. So like he would speak and say his piece, and then, he would translate what Ma was saying, and then I think, probably added in a little bit here and there. So he did that, and then it went back to Ma. So I think they did like this 4 or 5 times or so from what I counted. And then pretty much in about the last, I'd say minute and a half, minute 45, that's when you start that's when you start hearing from the others. So, yeah, but I didn't listen to what they said. I think I started hearing Jason say something around like 135 or 140. I think if I caught the voice correctly, but I didn't continue going with anything. So I wanted to. Well, sweetie, how about we stay focused on what we're looking at? That'd be great. Yeah. But again, like I said, man, don't worry, because I have the timestamps too as well. So I'm going to play you all the important bits. So I'll play you all Mark's English responses, which is translating from what Mo was saying. And then we'll also play you here in a bit the kind of final part. Actually, there was a part I caught that I'll play you. And I think it was a lady that was in, or a female, or a grill that was in there, and she actually said something hilarious, even though she didn't mean it that way, but I because it caught me off guard, I thought it was funny. So we'll probably play that part for you guys too as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. Great on, King. What's up, man? It sure is an easy zone lock versus an opponent that is not fighting back. I mean, yeah. I mean, not wrong, not wrong. Oh, that 45? Oh, what's that? That's interesting. Oh, I don't know. It's 53. Let's see. Oh, it is. That should be. Wow, it worked. Look at that. Shocker. Like the stream, you peons. Thank you, Gridiron. Appreciate it. Phantom, what's up, baby? I saw BN Live, had to join. Dude, it's going to be a good one today. It's going to be a good one because, like I said, finally, I am graced with an exclusive. It's always nice. Excuse me, let me not die. But yeah, always nice to get an exclusive. And listen, it's funny because I tell people all the time, man, people can come to me with anything, right? You want to come to me with some screens, you want to come to me with video, an audio recording, you want to come to me with a possible scoop, even if it's just, you're kind of anonymously posting it to me. And it's like, hey, look, just, go look into this, right? And, just don't mention it. It came from me. Oftentimes I'll get those. And I always tell people, man, just people can slide into my DMs anytime. You want to share some with me, you got a lead for me. I'm always happy to hear anyone out. And, we always respect if, they want to remain anonymous, they don't want to be mentioned, they don't care if they're mentioned, whatever it is. But, I will say, man, I love covering the news. No matter how you feel about it, man, gotta have an ongoing newspaper. Easy says they aren't going to zone lock us grid unless we decide to fight them. They are going for right side pass. They know if they zone lock us, they have zero chance of winning. I mean, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. I mean, they are there. I mean, they're already lining up on that side too as well. I'm aware, just pointing out the easy zone lock comment is dumb to even say since they wouldn't be getting a fight, so that's obvious. Yeah. Nice. Oh gosh. Yeah, man. I would hope an alliance of YSS caliber can defeat undefended towers. Oh god. Straver, I thought only Jason gets triggered with the easy zone lock. Seems I'm wrong. Couldn't you think I'm triggered? Eric, what's up, man? It's kind of obvious he's trying to rage bait, so might as well ignore it. Anyways, the video is going to do most of the talking, and then people will choose who's right and wrong. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, man, you're not wrong. Again, I'll give my thoughts and I'll share my opinion, on what I think, as we listen to it. But ultimately, everyone can essentially and effectively, I think, fair enough, decide for themselves on, how they feel about it one way or the other. Yeah, man. See, I told you, man, you got to give people time to join, man. People, they want to hear, they want to listen. Don't worry, we will. If you're just joining us now, we haven't played the audio yet. We'll be playing it in a bit. I'm just trying to I'm trying to scroll back up to where I was in the KvK chat because it's good. Because it's good. Yeah, glad there's a translator for the Russian. I'm a bit rusty and only remember one phrase, which means amazing player. All the Russians said that to me. CS. That's good. Cat Dog, what's up, man? The drama. Oh, man. I mean, it might be. We'll see what it turns into. Like I said, I'm telling people, I haven't listened to all of it, right? So it was about 30 minutes or so, I think, is what I was provided. And some other people, provided me some clips too as well. So... but I haven't listened to everything. I skimmed through it because, like I was saying earlier, I wanted to pull some timestamps so that way we can, kind of basically, focus on listening to the main pieces, the main parts. And then that way, we're not just kind of sitting here listening to, a bunch of Russian or at least non-English language speaking. So at least makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. Okay, so you know what we'll do? Maybe what we'll do here is let me scroll up so I can at least get to where I was. Once I finish scrolling and getting to the start, then we'll go ahead and play the audio. So if you want to get your peeps in here, and as always, man, listen, if you guys enjoy the content, help us out, throw us a quick on the video because it does a lot and it means a lot, man. I appreciate you guys. It helps get this out to that. Yeah. So let me just get back to where we were at kind of like the beginning of like the VC conversation in KvK chat. Once I scroll up there, it shouldn't take that much longer. And then then we'll go ahead and play the audio. So maybe we'll play it in a few minutes here. Mystic says, you the one and only news guy for God. I mean, listen, man, I love covering a lot of different things and, the KvK stuff and, doing a lot of the analytics there. I absolutely love. I mean, I've always done that even when it was in beta, right? And I was doing everything manually by hand, even when there was a couple hundred kingdoms that were out. I was still just kind of loading up all my scouts and going into these things one by one because, nobody really had that, data available to them. And, data providers really wasn't a big thing, at least in the beginning stages. And so, having to kind of do everything by hand and do it the good old fashioned manual. I mean, I'm sure some people remember even some of my earlier streams, I'd be there for hours upon hours and I might've only, finished a quarter, sometimes a fifth of it just because there was just so much. But even for me, I loved it, man. Like those are the kinds of things I find are really important. And I like talking about important topics too, as well. I think there's a lot of good educational opportunities. I think there's a lot of good, knowledge and experience out there, especially, for myself that I feel like I can share, especially whether it's new kingdoms or existing kingdoms. It's good stuff, man. Easy peasy, man. I'm excited for the audio to play. I get a kick out of when YSS leadership freaks out. Yeah, man. Yeah. Give me a few minutes. A few minutes we'll play it. Like I said, I just want to scroll to the top from where I was, because when we finish playing the audio, I want to be able to go and read through some of the chat, because I'm telling you, man, dude, some of the chat is epic, dude. Some of the posts from some people are just nuts here, and I'm sure I'll get that. I'm gonna have to start paying attention though, because I got to see where I'm at. I think it was around 16 UTC or so. So I got to see where I'm at. I don't know where the time. I'm at 9:44. Oh crud, is that 9:44? If that's 9:44 today, then yeah, I probably have a ways to go, because it's been longer than a day, I think. Dude, look at this. Dude, look at these comments. This is what I'm talking about, man. Look at this. You see where I land? This is where I land from Blade. Blame devs and bosses. I'm telling you, man, you can't make this stuff up, bro. KvK chat is nuts. Oh god, dude, I'm sure there's so many banger comments in here. I'm gonna be able to make another epic highlight reel, just better than what we did today. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. No, I know. Well, you know what? To be fair, that's what I should have done. Lag. You're 100%. Right when I got on, I should have done it. I should have clicked on the message and replied to it, so I had the timestamp to go all the way back to it. 100%, I should have done that. I'll probably do it now. Whenever I get there, I'll do a reply, just so I don't lose my spot. 100% agree. I honestly don't know why I didn't think about that. For a moment, what I really wish I could do is I wish I could reply to a comment or forward a comment to like a DM. That would be dope. Because then that way I could have, DM'd it to someone random, but it's just saved there, right? It's not going to get lost in the world chat RSS feed, essentially. Yeah, because that was such a massive drag. Yeah. All right, how long have we been going for? About 20 minutes or so? Okay. Oh gosh, let me just see how much more damage I can get done here real quick, and then we'll go ahead and play it. Let me see, where am I at timing wise? I got to see what the next timestamp is here. 8:35. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? It's gonna be a minute. I think it's gonna be a minute. Let me just see what the next time. What was that? 8:59. Oh, okay, we're moving. 8:26. 8:26. 8:23. Oh god. Okay, now it's 8:23. Jeez. All right, maybe 8:08. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a minute because I have to go back. I think about 16 hours or so. So maybe we will just go ahead and play it because I didn't think it was gonna take me this long to get back there. I can always kind of scroll through it once we finish and we talk about it to kind of give our post reactions. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and play it. So where's my timestamps? Dun, 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 dun. All right. Here we go. There we go. Put my headset on here so I can listen. Okay. Get your booties ready. What was it? Yeah, like 26, 27 minutes or something. What, gotta go here? Oh. Well, don't do that. There he goes. Oh, here, you want this. Let me see this. Hang on. Let's do it like this. Okay. I think we're good. Let me just make sure the music's off. Dun, 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 dun. And we'll max the volume out too as well. All right, here we go. So if you're just joining us, we're going to start playing you guys the VC clips here, or not clips, but basically the entire recording. But I will do some skipping because, like I said before, to preface, there is a number of parts, probably over half of this is in Russian from Ma, and then Mark is doing the translating. So we'll kind of fast forward and basically skip to each of the translated parts that Mark is speaking on. And then near the end is once things kind of really, I think, at least most likely probably start getting, but at least I think it's important to hear Mark from NTS and what they have to say. All right, here we go. Where's my, oops, hang on. All right, just gotta make sure I got the timestamps. Here we go. So first one's gonna be 104.
Масло в огонь, вот, чтобы разругать наш союз, потому что все прекрасно понимают, что собраны действительно хорошие лидеры, лидеры комьюнити.
What he wants to say, yeah, so it was just the first part of the monologue, but anyway, we will try to be quite short, yeah, so looking and observing the KvK, yeah, and the agreements that initially were developed, we, of course, mean the union, yeah, the union of NTS, IMFS, and YSS, yeah. Where so this union was created from the very beginning, first hours after the Diplo, yeah, as you all remember. And after, yeah, we see that there are people who are being like slandered from the outside, escalating the situation, trying to destroy us from the side, yeah? Because to be honest, looking from the outside, yeah, because still we are like also looking from the outside, it might seem like we are fighting and arguing with each other, yeah? But after thinking about this, it's more like that people want us to have conflicts, to argue with each other through streamers, through some internal talks, small groups,
Мемами.
some insults, and any other moments, yeah? So we would like to try at least to return to the negotiating table, yeah? Trying to come back to the agreement, yeah, which appeared, which came in the first hours of this KvK, because still we see that there are chances to win, but only in case we are working together. So the first part is finished, now the second part from... Давай дальше, я перевел.
Да, тут нужно подчеркнуть в том, что в плане вот этих вот...
Okay. Let me see here. Let me get back. I just figured, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and continue scrolling while you guys listen. I was like, let me double dip on this real quick. So the first part there, you're hearing Mark. And I want to say, man, I've always had a lot of respect for Mark. You know, for everything he's kind of been able to do with NTS and carry that kind of torch on, you know, after Ma had kind of stepped back a little bit from his kind of main R5 and King role. And very much, I feel like NTS presents themselves as, you know, I think kind of just the cool, you know, the cool guy, the cool uncle, if you will, right? Kind of a voice of reason in there. Now, it's not necessarily as though Mark said a lot there. Like, let's be fair on both sides. I do think it was interesting that he did address kind of the streamer portion, which felt like almost kind of either, I don't know if I want to say a call out, but it very much felt like, you know, just kind of mentioning like, hey, right, you know, Guns did show that stuff off, and you know, and so he kind of addressed that. You know, I don't think he addressed it in necessarily, I would say, a hard or challenging way, but he did obviously mention something there, and clearly wanting to try and, it feels like NTS kind of take more of this mediation approach, right? Of them wanting to try and, hey, can we bring both of these teams back to the table? Okay, next clip then we have here is going to be, what do I have? Timestamp 7:15. Here we go.
всяких
IMFS.
всех наших людей.
Quite short. So we again would like to emphasize, yeah, that NTS as an alliance, not
Oh, good. Okay, it's playing. Whew, thank God.
only in this game, but also in the previous. We are very experienced in terms of some undercover games, yeah, where some political moments and other came before real interests of people, of alliances. Yeah, we have been through this even in CallofDragons. Yeah, maybe you remember how we were called by cheaters, multi-boxers, and so on. Yeah, so, and most of you know, at least most, that it wasn't true, and we continue playing no matter what. Yeah, so we have quite good experience in all of this. So in such situation, yeah, which we have right now, everyone thinks that you are right and that it's fine, it's fully fine. Yeah, what is obvious to you doesn't need to be obvious to another person. Yes, so of course we all have our own interests of our alliance, of our members, our past and history of communication and relationships between alliances. But when it all comes through reinforcements from the opponents, and some of us heard that this situation also came not only from our past relationships, but also was increased by some of our opponents who wanted to see us weak and on losing side. Yeah. So we ask again now, like as adult people who not control, how to say, who are leaders of hundreds of people, and all these people are afraid and hope at the same time that we will find a solution, yeah, and we will be able to explain to everyone that we as strongest leaders, yeah, are not the ones who were influenced by some provocations and of our past, yeah. So here and now, yeah, we as NTS, we want a good, beautiful fight, especially in the final zone, yeah. We as NTS, we are ready to reject the dragon at all, yeah. No matter when we will give it to you, yeah. We have two types of seasonal rewards, yeah. So from sentinels, or how they're called, I don't remember even in Russian, from dragons, so you can share, or we can decide like how to call it. So use a coin, yeah, to throw it, and by random, yeah, random chance to decide whose dragon will be, or after pushing opponents from the final zone, yeah, from the dragon at least. So make a kind of fight with each other, and in this fight decide who will control the dragon, or any other options. But after we win this season, because we have all chances to win. You see, yeah. So IMFS showed really good game against NXW. We are still holding against WB, exhausting them and so on. So Hunt and MFD are waiting, as well as YSS, but still we have these good chances. So let's show this to the, not even for community, yeah, for our players who are also waiting for this. So many of our players wants this. Let's try to come back to this negotiation table, yeah, and come up with a decision where we all will go and kill them all. So this was the second part from Muh. Let me ask if he has something to add. Так, еще что-то есть у тебя?
Okay, so that was the second part from NTS. And what I will say there, I mean, you can clearly tell that, you know, Mark just almost gentle giant like, right? Trying to really push that the narrative of like, look, man, like let's really try and come back to the table for the good of everyone. Let's really try and make something happen here. And I mean, he did present some options, but again, maybe they wrote something down. Maybe there was, maybe there was like a verbal thing that he had wrote down. They had like really thought about it, outside of just kind of throwing it down. I mean, even NTS saying like, hey, look, man, I mean, you could argue that's pretty big of them, right? For Mark and them to come out and say, look, we don't really care about the rewards. You guys can have it. Let's just kind of all come back to the table so, we can have a great final zone and not kind of this, kind of desperate isolation, kind of compartmentalized fights and actions from kind of each individual alliance, right? It's like we're on a team, but we're all kind of individuals, right? There's no I in team, as they say. And Mark's over here trying to say like, look, man, here's some ideas, even mentioning, the flip a coin or like the random number generator. And then that's just what you get. I mean, yeah, it's, yeah. Anyway, let's take a shot every time we hear it. Yeah. Gets a nasty shout out. Yeah, that's good stuff. P says, yeah, Abner, the only one that's got emotional in his voice was YSS. Huh? What? You gotta go potty? Do you have to go potty? Okay. Okay, go. Here you go. You need Band-Aid? Oh, Band-Aid. Okay, yeah, go. Here, go get one. You're okay. It's under the sink. Go. I'll be honest, she's fine. There's nothing there. I'll tell you, dude. I don't know if anyone other has kids, man. You can go through. But I'm telling you, do not show your kids Band-Aids. They'll run through the entire supply. But what I was saying, man, is I mean, I've had the chance to talk to Mark a couple times, and you know, NT. What is it? No. What is it? Let me see. Let me see. What? Let me see. What? Where? Where? You're fine. There you go. Look. Wait. There goes. Bumps. Oh my gosh. You're fine. Come on. You're okay. There you go. Tough it out, kiddo. But yeah, and like I was saying, man, I think the part there from Mark is that, in short, you know, Mark's not trying to do anything, right? That's not, at least from the NTS perspective, it's not like he's caring about trying to put anything out there for NTS. He's very much kind of taking this position of, man, listen, how can we kind of get everyone back to the table? And if we need to sacrifice as a kingdom in 49, you know, and you have to understand, dude, like they're coming in as basically they were coming into the G2 KvK pool as the number 2 kingdom. And you got the number 2 kingdom was coming out and basically saying like, look, man, we'll sacrifice for the greater good to try and make something happen here as just one option that they're presenting, you know, outside of a few others that he just said there. Now, obviously, it would be nice if maybe they had some of these things written down. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but just kind of listed out what their points were, you know, so that way that was kind of prepared to as well. And if they did, good on them. If not, you know, I think that would have been great to be able to kind of have something there. So that way, as they're kind of going through based on what Mark is kind of highlighting top down, I think that would have been kind of a nice way to just to have everyone aligned together. But I think it's very clear before we move on to the next clip that NTS is trying their best to mediate to kind of bring everyone back to the table. Okay. Let me see. Abd, not going to lie, NTS saying all this just for Jason to be emotional makes the whole situation even more sad. Attitude, what's up, man? When is the drama? What in the drama is going on here? What's up? Like, easy to be delusional. Too loose for the goose. What's up, man? For Mark's math, NTS deserves all the rewards. Yeah. I mean, honestly, could you argue that? It's like, look, man, let NTS have final, and then IMFS and YSS can do like a random number generator over the others. I mean, yeah, you could probably make an argument for that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Props to the person that speaks more languages than me. Yeah. How to easy, you don't go into Diplo chat and beg for an apology. That's not how diplomacy works. It's easy. Yeah, he didn't beg. He simply told him to apologize. They freaked out over it, lol. Okay, here we go. Let's get into the next clip. So next one I'm going to have here for you is going to be, this is the third NTS, so we're going to be around 1222.
Ну, я бы сказал бы...
Yeah, so the last is what he wanted to add, that this KvK is really balanced. Yeah, so with our teams, with our sides, it's really balanced. So we cannot forecast who will win in this KvK. So it will result. So the result will be from small details. Yeah, exact decisions of war leaders, of builders, staffs, and so on. Yeah. Because all sides are ready with troops, with resources for healing, with money ready to spend, and everything else. But still, it is quite balanced. Yeah, so we cannot predict who will win, and I'm sure you also cannot predict. And in such situation, communication and coordination between us is the key.
Кстати, забыл добавить. Еще могу же добавить еще?
Давай.
Смотри, у нас тоже есть проблема.
Okay. So for that part from Mark, I mean, again, it was a little bit shorter. Again, kind of said more or less, right, what he was saying before. There really wasn't, I felt like a lot extra added there at that one. So again, we're going to go to the next one I have here is going to be at 1519. Here we go.
Русскоязычно понять, узы, может быть...
We fully understand you, because even in Russian community, which is in this game isn't very big, yeah, but still we have different streamers, different points of view, and even inside of NTS, you maybe know, we have several different streamers and so on, and at their channels, they can explain their own points of view, yeah, their own thoughts, and they are not like we understand. We are explaining you this because in such situations it's not.
Oh, hang on, I gotta fast forward because I think Mark cut out here for a sec.
Details and so on. But also because this increase of pressure from people who are even not officers, yeah, from people who are not responsible for the whole alliance, from people who even can not know all the details and so on. So in such situation, we again ask that we need to focus on the interest of our alliances, of our people, yeah, and try to achieve the goals we want together, yeah. So beautiful game, beautiful fights, and the result. Yeah, the result in terms of victory of our union. Все. Я чуть там от себя добавил, но не суть.
Ну, я тоже как бы все. Вот хотел.
You know, it's so funny. At that moment, I really feel like Mark is giving a dissertation. Like he's giving some kind of like speech in front of a graduating class at some university, or he's giving like the motivational speech for like troops to be sent off to war or something. And then I just have to imagine like the part, because I don't know any Russian, but part of me feels like right there at the very end, Ma is giving him like a pat on the back, like, "Bro, you did really good. Oh, thank you, man. Oh God, I was a little bit nervous. No, you did a great job. You keep it up. I knew I chose you for a reason. Oh, thank you, Ma. Oh gosh, it's so relieving. that's exactly how it felt to me. I don't know what they said, but something in my mind feels like there was some kind of like back and forth confirmation bias that was happening there to some degree of like, yeah, they're just kind of patting each other on the back, like, oh, I did a good job. Oh, thanks. Okay. Next one I have here is going to be 64. Okay. So then the next clip I'm going to go. So this is where it's now going to start ramping up a little bit. Okay. So we're going to go to 2235 here next.
Хотелось бы, чтобы ребята вот
Просить.
I have genuinely no idea what's being said.
I will translate. Wait a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I don't know who that lady was, but when I was listening to this and I was trying to find like the next timestamps to get to, I just, yeah, dude, that caught me off guard. Like, cause I mean, to be fair, I don't know when she joined, right? So I don't know when she joined the VC, if it was later or not, but clearly if you've been in the VC, you know that, like, you know, Muzz speaking in Russian, Mark's translating. It's just the fact that she came out and was like, oh, I have no idea what she said. I mean, it's fair, but it caught me off guard. It was funny. All right, the next one. Okay, now we'll start getting. So this is where we get now to NTS's last piece. And then after NTS finishes, this is when I think Jason joins, and then it kind of rounds itself out, right? Or it starts ramping up. So here we go.
Ладно.
Чтобы это было. So. If again make it much shorter, yeah. Position of TFS Alliance. Oh, sorry, TFS, IMFS. IMFS Alliance is that they are.
I just want to point out, I don't think anyone means any offense by it, but I don't think anyone means any offense by it. It's just, I don't think anyone means anything. I feel like a lot of people, I've even been a victim of this, right? It's just calling them TFS instead of IMFS. Like I really have to work my way to it. Oh, Vital, don't worry, man. If you're joining, you've joined as we're getting to the climax. So don't worry. I mean, there is other stuff before, but we're getting to the climax. And then also, for those wondering, I found the beginning part. So this is the very beginning part in the KvK chat on KvK1 in their world chat, where everything starts to ramp up, and then you eventually hear the first mentions of the whole Discord VC call that happened, and then the KvK1 world chat starts to kind of explode. So this is the very beginning of it. So we'll go through these messages after. But yeah, it's ramping up right now. So you joined at a good time. Okay, here we go.
Ready to cooperate, to work together, and so on, and discuss how to work together. But for this, so as I understood, there are several players like Chip and some others who received a lot of bad messages. Yeah, let me call like them. So Jason isn't asking for any apologizes, any kinds of apologies for himself. Yeah, but he needs these kinds of apologizes for these several players. Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. So does this mean that NTS mediated before the VC happened? Like, let me wrap my head around this. So based on what Mark is saying, if I understand this correctly, or if I can surmise, Mark or whomever from NTS went to IMFS to ask them, hey, what do you need to settle this? Or they went to YSS and Tomato and whomever to ask them, hey, what do you need to settle this? Or did NTS organize everything and then they said, hey, message me, and then Jason messaged, Tomato messaged, and said, this is where, like, this is what we need, right, to be able to come to the table? Because now Mark's giving us a little bit right now. All right, he's giving us a little bit. All right, here we go.
And if this happens, they are ready to...
I'm sorry. Are you asking YSS to apologize to IMFS?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you flat out in English so there's no miscommunication with a translator. Unless YSS comes to the table and want to apologize for all the shit they was talking about IMFS and are saying that they're going to zone lock us and all that shit, then we're not talking with you and we're not cooperating with you. Also,
easy zone lock.
The word not gonna.
He said it. He said it. He said easy zone lock. Oh God, it's okay. Oh God, oh geez. Okay, there's. He said it. Dark was in there, dude. That sounded like Dark's voice. He was in there. Who let that guy in? Oh my God. Okay. We still got about a minute left. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Dark's quotes are straight up becoming historical, right? I mean, I wonder if there's anyone out there who has a historical collection on just all the epic quotes from Darks, whether they're good or bad, because you obviously have to add this. Okay. Jason says that. So I actually thought it wasn't going to be that direct. Jason came out and blasted. Like, that was pretty. Yeah, he didn't yell or use any derogatory, but it was aggressive in the sense of it came across more as a demand. Like, we need an apology, and you need to apologize, whether it's to these people and for, whatever he said with the zone lock comments, etc., before we can even come to an agreement. Oh God, man. I mean, that's rough. That's rough. Like I said in my, and we're going to listen to the rest here in a sec. Part of me gets it. Because I can only imagine, like, was there any players from IMFS and 225 that were coming to Jason or that were upset or something? I'm sure probably some people were. However, I mean, listen, man, I respectfully, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've told people for kingdom projects I've ran, which is if someone's bad mouthing you, you report them, or if they're just being annoying or they're spamming, you report them. After you report them, you block them, and then you never have to hear from them again. They become an afterthought to you. You'll never see them type in world chat. They'll never DM you. It will be like they didn't even exist. And that's how you do it. In my opinion, this is what I have advised players for projects I've done in Rock, in Infinity Kingdom, and CallofDragons. This is just like general 101 to me, because then you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't affect you. You don't see it. You keep it pushing, pimping, and that's it. Part of me feels like this went a step too far, in the sense of, again, I get why you'd want to ask for an apology. And maybe there was some worse stuff said. Like I said, I don't know everything that was said. Let's get that out of the way first and foremost. And I'm not saying I know everything that was said or was not said. But what I do know is that if you want to avoid those things, you have to also take a proactive approach in doing so. And then I would also say, listen, man, sticks and stones at the end of the day, right? They are words. This isn't to say that those words may not offend or affect or hurt or emotionally crush or damage individuals. Maybe they do. But to ultimately outweigh the betterment of the entirety of the KvK, and again, we're going off of what we know right now, to be clear. To say that you asking, or better yet, what it sounded like, demanding an apology is going to outweigh the betterment of the entirety of the KvK, which has hundreds upon hundreds, if it's 1,000 players or so, however many active are in there. I mean, I think you could probably make an argument for 1,000 easily. And to say that this is going to be the hill that you stand on, the hill that you die on, I don't know. I don't agree with that. And keep in mind, like I always tell people, man, this isn't me saying Jason's an awful dude, or, how dare Jason, and, I'm never going to talk to this guy ever again. No, it's nothing like that, right? And I said this the same when I was in the New York City meetup, right? I loved meeting Jason. Jason's a cool dude. I consider Jason a friend. And if he goes to another event, dude, I'd love to hang out with him, treat him the same exact way. So we're mainly just addressing the actions and the results that we're hearing. And so again, we can respectfully agree and disagree to things, and we can share our thoughts and our opinions on it. I don't think that this all of a sudden constitutes and makes Jason like some awful person or some awful lead or anything to that degree. But what I will say is that in this moment, for this situation, unless there's more to it that I don't know, or there's more to it that we are not privy to, based on this, I just don't think this is the right call. It's just not something I would agree with, and saying like, look, if I'm weighing out the entirety of the KvK on working with these people, or maybe Jason just thinks that it's going to end up the same way. Maybe he thinks it doesn't matter, right? If they work together or not, because the same exact thing is probably going to end up happening in the final zone anyways, where it's like, is YSS really going to attack them and basically, ruin their chances? Will they do that in spite of them? Will they not? It's almost like, is he kind of calling their bluff and playing some psychological mind games here? And it's a little bit deeper than we think. Maybe that's a play. But I think just generally speaking, I just don't know if I agree with like, that's the hill you're choosing to die on and plant your flag on and say, look, man, we demand an apology from your people if we're going to work together. Again, I get it. And I understand, but it's like, is this the right moment to do that in? Right? I think you can make an argument for the right moment, maybe to do that after the KvK, or maybe before the next KvK starts, right? Like, choose your moment where it's, well, if you get matched up again with them and there's an opportunity that you might have to work with them or not work with them, right? Depending on, how the matchmaking plays out, maybe plant your flag then at that point. Again, those are just my thoughts. I'll read through some chat. I'm curious what some of you guys think on this. You guys are killing me. Can Jason and Dark do a COD boxing match? Side deck, what's up, man? Dark can't get off his couch after there's no TFS anymore. Just remove Jason and Dark from Diplo and it gets settled. Gridiron. Jason is co-R5. Can't remove him. Strafer, I think IMFS forgot they have Yohei to act. Right? Just wait, what? SP, what's up? Dork has bad dreams from when his alliance was #1 in power and was zone locked. Echo GG. Yeah, Jason and Diplo chat is the only rep. I'm as fuck. Ghost Cavalry needed to be the guy. Exactly. Who's Ghost Cavalry? I don't know if I've ever talked to him. Step down and let the other handle it. All you can hear from YSS reaction, Dark saying that did not influence YSS decision. They would never apologize with or without Dark there. I mean, I will say, I do tend to agree with that. It's like asking for such a tall, like you're asking for, it's a tall order, right? To ask for something that big. And it may not seem big for other people, but you have to really kind of, I feel like, put your mind, try to approach it from the other person's perspective or these players' perspectives, which is, you know, are you really going to get, you know, an apology from I don't want to say like this group or those people, but it's, you know, it's an easier way to say it. But it's like, you know, do you feel like there's a, like, it's almost like say, do you think you're going to get are you more likely to get an apology from Mark from NTS or from Dark/Tomato from YSS? Right? Like that's probably a better way to probably word it. Yeah. PP says, at the same time, you could ask, it's the correct moment to literally answer with easy zone lock after those comments were already pointed out to be a problem to cooperate. Yeah. Yeah. Ginger says, end of the day, people are treating this like real life and acting like snowflakes just to get your shit together so we can all spend more money and enjoy what's left of the season before we migrate away. Damn. That's where the apology comes in. It shows some sincerity. Yeah. And listen, don't get me wrong, man. You know, you can argue the other side of this too, which is, you know, IMFS and Jason, they asked for the apology. I mean, if YSS truly did what IMFS, Jason, maybe NTS and other people saw in the KvK of what he's calling them out on, then why not just go ahead, you know, why not go ahead and apologize, right? Just do a quick, all right, man, I'm sorry. Let me know who I need to go apologize to. I'll go and do it. And then they go on. So again, right, we have to be fair because we can talk about it from the YSS perspective, which is that, yeah, I mean, they easily could have done that too as well. Now, obviously, you're the ones that are being asked. You're not the ones who are demanding. I don't know if YSS had any necessary demands because who knows if it even got to that point after what was, you know, flung around in the beginning. But again, you can make that argument as well. Wangu, what's up, baby? I'll let anyone live stream Diplo Talks and get it sorted in 20 minutes. I mean, listen, man, I'll tell you this much. If I was the mediator and I was doing the Diplo conversations, I would absolutely have this sorted like pretty quickly. Like it just, why? Because and I'm gonna continue playing the audio recording. The one thing I will say here before we continue playing is that, like, if all of them got in and I was mediating, it would just go differently. And I say that because part of me felt like Mark just went on for too long. Like, it was great to hear from them, but he should have summarized that all up in like one part. And then it should have immediately got to, okay, what is it going to take to get this done? And let's put that on the table. Let's let everyone go around in a circle. Everyone speaks their piece. Let everyone finish talking. And let's ask, what is it going to get it done? And then you figure out how you can compromise. How do you work in the middle? Let's provide some numbers. Let's provide some stats on merits and et cetera, for maybe previous KvKs, right? So you need some precedents. Then you go into like, let's solve. But sometimes you need a mediator to basically let the traffic flow in the proper direction. The moment that you have too many people start talking, and if you're not mediating appropriately, the VC just becomes a free-for-all. Okay, let's go ahead and finish. That was just the one thing I wanted to say. Psyduck, BN should organize and stream Diplo Part 3. Yeah. Probably. Okay, here we go. Here's the next part.
Communicate then.
Easy zone lock.
This is how we were.
That's a huge way to come. Hold on.
Guys, everyone shut up other than NTS, all right? YSS, another note, I don't even know what the fuck Dark Hill doing in here if he has quote unquote nothing to do with fucking Diplo or leadership, that he's only a fucking paid war lead.
We were told this wasn't a Diplo talk. We were.
I'm gonna start crying. Oh my god. There's just so much. I just don't understand how it could already be devolving this fast. It's this bad. Dude, this is crazy. Like, I don't even think I don't even think I can recall a moment of like any other KvK VC Diplo I've at least been a part of that, like, literally, dude, like, this is it. Mark's here. Dude, this is crazy. Oh my god. Okay, so Mark's here, right? This is the tempo of the VC. Mark's here. And then the moment that Jason says something. Now it's like, okay, it's like a little bit. It's like a little, and then what we just heard, it's just like, oh my God, bro. Now listen, okay. Oh God. I mean, there's so many thoughts running through my mind right now. Okay. Jason is right. Again, based on what we know and what we've heard, got to give Jason his flowers here, right? He called it out, and he stated what I think is a fair assessment, which is why is Dark there in the VC? On top of that, who was in the VC? It's not just Dark though, right? It's who's everyone in the VC right now. Because to me, if Tomato could speak English and Mark's there, I'm okay with Ma being there because I've never heard of a situation of Ma or Mark, just going off the rails. If Tomato could speak English, then that's fine. Just Tomato. If Jason's there, okay, then just Jason. Or you appoint someone else. But you keep the group small. I don't know how many people were there, but clearly there was a lady there, Dark's there, Jason's there. I don't know. Is it like 2 people from each? Was it just 6 people total? Was it more than 6 people? Like, how many chefs do you need in this kitchen until it starts burning down? You know what I mean? Like, part of me feels like, depending on how many people were there, it's not a more the merrier. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get the most, this is what you would say is probably the most important follow-up Diplo VC. Shouldn't we have cooler heads in the VC that will prevail? Shouldn't we have people that will take kind of a more relaxed, kind of Cali surfer vibe approach to it of like, look, man, like, let's really just figure it out. It doesn't matter who does it. Let's just get it done. And let's put the best people forward, right, in there. Because, dude, that was nuts. That was wild. Now, like I said, fair enough for Jason calling that out on why is Dark in the VC, right? If he truly doesn't have anything to do with it. Obviously, the other side of it is, if he wasn't in there, we wouldn't have got such an epic line. So, okay, that's its own thing. But yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair for Jason to say that. Dude. It isn't even a Diplo talk. Wait, what was that? Hang on, what was that? Grino says, what the F is it then if it isn't a Diplo talk? Is it an effing circle jerk? Dude, and then that's the other line. For him to say, oh, I didn't know that this was a Diplo conversation. Bro, what do you mean you didn't know it was a Diplo conversation? Does that mean that we've been lied to and it wasn't a Diplo conversation? There you go, Lag. It's a negotiation simulator. Like, what? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Now it feels like you're stretching a little bit from the YSS side on, like, what do you think you guys are going to come together and do there? What are we going to do? Like, roast marshmallows and sing Kumbaya and tell each other night stories to try and scare each other while we sit around the campfire? No! That's not what we're here for. So, yeah, that already does. I mean, you already lost me on that one. Like, I don't think there's any justification to that line. Now, I will say this, though, as a very tiny asterisk, if you have something and it was not worded as though it was a diplomacy conversation, or we weren't trying to figure something out in any kind of diplomacy-related environment, fair enough. But I'd have to see that in writing, because I highly doubt that this was not a diplomacy conversation or any kind of Diplo conversation to attempt to get anything kind of back on track. So, yeah, that already is completely ridiculous. Again, unless I'm proven otherwise, because you're going into this conversation, everyone's talking about it in the KvK1 chat after it happened, and people are referring to it as a diplomacy VC that happened. Like, what are we talking about here, right? I mean, on that line, I'll say, yeah, it feels like Dark, whoever said that, is absolutely trolling. Absolutely trolling. Okay, so here we go, right? Okay, so Dark's here. Look at that. The man, the myth, the legend graces us with his presence. What is this? Okay, should we double comment? NTS asked us to come join and plan out final zone. Okay. And then randomly invited Jason to the call and said, oh, okay, so you're saying that you were tricked, or NTS lured you in under false pretenses and then added IMFS onto the call afterwards. And then that's when Ma and Mark started their TED Talk there in the beginning. Is that accurate? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. And Dark, listen, man. Listen, if you want to come on stream and you want to show your perspective and on what happened, and on top of maybe what it would take to get everything squared away, you're more than welcome. Abda says it wasn't a Diplo convo. Everything is settled behind the scenes. Fake drama to make NXW WB side think it's going to be a bad FZ, and then they smoke us. And then they smoke us. Okay. So here you go. So PZ, there you go. Easy PZ says, BN, this was scheduled 2 days in advance. They knew who was going to be there. Okay, fair enough. And again, I'm sure, an announcement screenshot or something to that effect can easily clarify that as well, or that we should say overly confirm it. That's how it looks to me. I think I would have to see anything that proves that nobody knew that they were all going into any kind of a diplomacy conversation to figure things out for the remaining of the KvK or for the final zone. You'd have to show me something that proves otherwise. And that's only because of one, what has been said so far, how Mark started the VC conversation off, what other people have been saying publicly about it, and the fact that no one else from at least NTS or IMFS has said that they didn't know that it was a diplomacy conversation. That's what I mean. You got to be the one. I think the onus is on the other side. You got to be able to prove that a little bit. Dark says, I'm saying Tomato told us NTS wanted to plan the final zone and asked us all to join. Then we get in the call and NTS said they wanted to invite Jason and talk. Okay. So Dark's saying that no one from YSS, including Tomato, had any idea that NTS wanted to talk it all out with everyone. I mean, to be fair, that feels like a stretch. It's not to necessarily say that you're right or wrong, but that feels like a stretch. And again, it only feels like a stretch because of what we know. If you got a screenshot or something, or if Tomato wants to come on and say like, yeah, dude, we had no idea. Okay, fair. I'd be happy to hear that out. But again, I'm saying how the optics look. The optics do not look in favor of supporting that argument. The optics look in favor of supporting that, hey, this was a diplomacy call. That's what the goal was, to try and figure something out. So again, that's a little bit hard of a pill to swallow. And I think objectively that's fair. Dark says, why would we bring 8 people to a call with only Jason? Wait, hold up. So 8 people showed up from YSS? And what, Jason was the only one there and then it was just 2 people from NTS? I'm so confused. One group, no, please, no bait. IMFS rage baits. I missed it. Oh my God. Dark's goal is to get paid. Yes, rage with me. I want my apology right now, and I want my Klondike bar. Ebba, yo, what's up, man? Yo, can we ban this guy spamming the same message over and over? Who's this? Easy. Everyone thinks the game fixed. I know the only way. Yeah, I have no idea. That's so confused. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. If he posts it one more time, we will. Ginger says 100%. He's right as far as IMFS is concerned. The season is done, so NTS is planning final zone with YSS for the 2v3 with hopes of getting IMFS maybe on board. Oh, interesting. So Ginger, you're saying that maybe that was the case. Interesting. To be honest, we don't need War Lead if versus IMFS. Jeez. That guy is strong. I want both IMFS and YSS to apologize to me. My feelings have been hurt so bad. Yeah, like y'all had no war lead at statue today. Get stomped out. Gridiron, that's true, Strafer, because we won't be fighting you. Dark, if I'm war leading versus IMFS, it's basically free. I agree. Oh, rough life. Okay, let's finish listening to the rest of this. So we got about 30 seconds here left. But at the moment, I'm not convinced that this wasn't at face value a diplomacy call of sorts. Now, again, if it comes out that Mark stated or that this was not a diplomacy call to get everyone back on board working together as allies for the remaining of the KvK, so be it. And if it ends up being, okay, well, NTS and YSS are the only ones working together, and it was just a matter of, hey, can we try and get IMFS on board? Okay, I'm just saying I'd have to see that. Okay, let's continue with, where's the rest of my stuff here? Okay. Okay, here we go.
We're just told that it was a final zone situation.
Now what we're saying. All right. Anyways, if you want IMFS to cooperate with any of you, not with NTS, because with NTS we cool, but with YSS, unless you come into the table and apologize and shit for the shit you was talking, then we're not cooperating. That's the bottom line. And if you don't like that, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's actually funny.
That is
No,
hold
on. Genuine question. Okay, so he left.
Yeah, масло.
Oh, dang. No, does that mean Jason just dipped right after that? Okay. Oh, God. Okay, hang on. Thoughts are running through my head right now. Jeez. Oh, my face. Okay. So it sounded like Tomato or whoever that was from YSS. It sounds like, again, objectively speaking, it sounds like he said it there in the VC coming from the perspective of, okay, we thought it was just a final zone conversation. That seems to be somewhat in line with what Dark and someone else said. Again, that doesn't mean that it tells the full picture, but that's at least one little piece. And then based on, and we didn't hear anything from Jason as far as saying like, oh, hey, this is a diplomacy conversation or anything to that extent, right? It was just more about, he did say them coming back to the table. So, I mean, I guess there is that one element there too as well. So now I kind of feel like, okay, it was like this, and now it's, okay, maybe a little bit moving in that direction on the pendulum. So, or whatever the scientific thing, the science scale, I'm forgetting what that thing's called. Okay, so, but then Jason comes out again and doubles down and says, you need to apologize to us if we're going to come back to the table, and then dips out of the call. I mean, listen, I guess the two ways of looking at it is on option one, he already stated what he stated. Part of me feels like there wasn't an opportunity for the conversation at any point once it really started going a minute and a half ago to just simmer, like just let people kind of think for a second, right? It felt like the Diplo was like, you said something, react. You said something, react. You said something, react. And it's just back to back to back, right? And sometimes that's not always going to be the best approach. Sometimes it's, listen, man, have some kind of a moderation structure to like, let someone say their piece, let it sit, let someone else go and say their piece, and then let it sit. I don't understand how the diplomacy, I mean, listen, obviously, sounds good from Mark and NTS and Ma and them kind of, putting everything together, trying to make kind of this last hurrah effort. But I mean, I'm trying to be polite about it, but it's just, man, I'll be honest, dude. Like it sounded like some chickens with their heads cut off, right? For the people involved. And that's more so from the YSS and the IMFS perspective, where it's like, dude, it sounded like some kind of middle school squabble, respectfully, but it did. And why did it? Because of the fact that no one let it sit. It was just react, and it just went so fast. And you could clearly tell that people were getting emotional. And the more important thing, here's let me give you a little pro tip here. When you have, or maybe a pro level insight, you already know it's a ticking time bomb. Like anyone who didn't go into that call knowing it was a ticking time bomb, and you still get baited into the ticking time bomb. How does that make any sense? Like, the moment that someone says something, it's gonna be done. Like it's gonna escalate, it's gonna fall off, and then people either go their own way, they won't say anything, they'll leave. Like, you already know what's going to happen. Why are you letting yourself get like tricked essentially into what you already should know is you're walking in a minefield, you know, and it's like you just willingly step on a mine and let everything explode. I don't get that part. That part I'm confused on. I don't understand that. And to me, I feel like that's my little pro level insight here, right? Which is you already knew what it was going to be going in. You knew what was going to cause, you knew what was going to light the fuse. You knew what was going to cause the bombs to explode, and you still chose to do it anyways. And that's from both sides, right? To be fair. It's just, yeah. Yeah, man, it's hard, man. That to me was rough. That was rough. Yeah. No. No. Okay. I got you. Yeah, man. What is it? Oh, here, go get banana. Go get me banana. I'll get you banana. Go ahead, sweetie. Yeah. Maybe what we'll do is maybe we should listen to it again, but just let it play through and no pausing. Maybe we'll do that in a sec. I want to read some comments though here because again, man, I mean, that was pretty nutty. I will say. Yeah. Jeez. A single player G3 Kings versus T3 Nipper. I think Dark and Jason just need to kiss. Yeah, man. Wangu Super Toe needs to put his R5 dock on the table and lead. Just take all the Diplo BS away, lol. Simple. Sidek, remove any animosity and then talk. Otherwise, it will just be points to Diplo. Oh, no, absolutely. I agree. I agree there, Sidek, wholeheartedly. Right? And again, to reiterate, right, this is not saying to any degree, you know, how awful of a person Dark is or Tomato or Jason or anyone involved, right? What we are talking about is the situation, how it unfolded, what was said, the actions taken. I think that's where the focus is. That's where it should be. We don't need to go out anywhere else. But the fact is that I do think there are clearly some opportunities here that could have actually made this meeting constructive. It could have made it progressive. It could have been more solution oriented and focused to try and get to some kind of a resolution that benefited the players. And part of me just feels like, man, when I listen to something like this, I think to myself from this man, I think to myself, you know what, you know what, another way of looking at this, it feels like for the people that spoke, and again, granted, NTS, to be fair, doesn't really have any beef with anyone, right? So to me, this really comes off as like the people who did speak needed to almost have, or I think I would have liked to see, that's a better way of wording it, I would have liked to see them thinking with not only their heads, but more importantly, thinking about the 1,000+ players that are in the KvK. Let's not think about, you know, how you affected me or what you said to me or what I said to you. Let's go into this thinking about all the players that are in the entirety of the KvK, not just the players in our alliances, but the players in all of the alliances. Let's think about how we can better the KvK for everyone here that's currently still playing and that's looking forward to how this, and part of me just wishes like that would have been the mindset that those individuals would have approached it with, you know. And it's like, look, man, I'll say this, you want to know the sign, I'll tell you a characteristic of a great leader. One characteristic of a great leader, and it doesn't mean that everyone has to have this, but I can tell you for some people, I think it is, you need to have self-awareness. Self-awareness in knowing, am I the right person to join this conversation? Am I the right person to be a part of this conversation? Am I the right person to be doing diplomacy at this moment, especially when it's the second round? Right? Because it goes back to what I was saying before, right? It's like cooler heads prevailing. It doesn't mean that you're not a great leader. It just means that you don't have to do every single thing for all the tasks that a leader does. Delegate. So I can tell you this right now. This is one of those things that I absolutely learned pretty early on when I was doing projects, is that when we're assigning departments, I recognized that I was absolutely not the best at doing everything. Could I do everything well enough? Absolutely. Did I excel in certain areas that I was passionate about and I loved? Yes. But there were always people that were a part of different departments that did things better than me, or they were just better suited to leading those efforts and moving forward with what that cause was. And I think those are the people that you put in those positions, right, to succeed as well. I just think that's another angle of it, is what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, it's, I mean, obviously that's pretty nuts. You must have been gentle parented growing up. A better demand from Jason would have been asking them to remove Dark from the VC instead of asking YSS to apologize. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the challenge though is that, and Abda, this goes back to, I think, and again, this is, you know, not that I necessarily feel like I say this too often, but to be fair, you know, Dark might be somewhat, I don't know if I want to use the word right, but I'll say he may have somewhat of a point based on what we heard from the remaining pieces of the VC, along with what someone else said as well in chat, talking about how, well, maybe NTS invited them, but maybe they didn't know. Now, keep in mind, that's only if no one from YSS knew that anyone from IMFS was going to join. That point is immediately disproven if anyone from YSS, especially Tomato, knew that IMFS was going to be joining the VC. That's easy enough. So, yeah, sweetie, come here. Okay. Oh, hang on. I think she needs me for a sec. Un momento. I'm gonna let this play out again for you guys. For those of you who may be just joining, I'm gonna let this play out from
огонь, вот, чтобы разругать наш союз, потому что все прекрасно понимают.
В каком?
IMFS. But for this, let me collect them.
Okay, here, I'll let it play out from here.
Jason isn't asking for any apologizes, any kinds of apologies for himself, yeah, but he needs these kinds of apologizes for these several players, yeah. And if this happens, they are ready to.
I'm sorry. Are you asking YSS to
I'm telling
apologize
you,
to IMFS?
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you flat out in English, so there's no miscommunication with a translator. Unless YSS comes to the table and want to apologize for all the shit they was talking about IMFS and are saying that they're gonna zone lock us and all that shit, then we're not talking with you and we're not cooperating with you. Also,
easy zone lock.
We're not going to communicate then.
Easy zone lock.
This is
I mean,
how we were.
That's a huge way to come. Hold on.
Guys, everyone shut up other than NTS, all right? YSS, another note, I don't even know what the fuck Dark Hill doing in here if he has quote unquote nothing to do with fucking Diplo or leadership, that he's only a fucking paid war lead.
We were told this wasn't a Diplo talk. We were just told that it was a final zone situation.
Not what was said. All right. Anyways, if you want IMFS to cooperate with any of you, not with NTS, because with NTS we cool, but with YSS, unless you come into the table and apologize and shit for the shit you was talking, then we're not cooperating. That's the bottom line. And if you don't like that, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's actually funny.
That is
Hold on. Genuine question. Okay, so he left.
Dude, when I listen back to that, my favorite part now, was that Tomato who said, can someone tell me, was that Tomato who was the one who said, oh, we didn't know this was a diplomacy conversation, we just thought it was a final zone conversation? Was that Tomato or was that someone else? Yeah. Sonny, what's up, man? Why would YSS never do that? I mean, apology seems more than reasonable. Yeah. So, yeah. So what's funny to me is if that was, oh, that was, okay. Oh, thank you, Genie. That was another R4. Okay. Dude, whoever that R4 was, dude, that's how you act. Who is that R4? I want to know who that R4 is from YSS because, dude, you are the people's champ. Right? Because, you know, Jason kind of came out, lots of energy, some swinging here and there. And that R4, whoever that R4 is, you should be doing Diplo for YSS. I don't know who that is. But you could just tell the tone of that person, very calm. Now, I don't know what else they said after that, but in that moment, very calm, did not react, just gave a very neutral answer on what they were there for. So, yeah, I don't know who that R4 was. But again, I like the way that person responded. Again, I'd have to hear the rest, but in that moment, that was the right way to do it, right? And did you notice what happened? This is why, oh God, dude, I need to I'm telling you, man, I need to teach a class on soft skills. Did you notice what happened when that R4 responded the way they did to Jason? And then Jason's next moment speaking, what did he do? He started lowering his tone a little bit. He took a moment to think, right? Because he was given a neutral response with nothing. There was no weight to it. There was no movement with it. There was no tone with it, right? Going in either direction. Jason pauses for a moment, kind of almost resets, lowers his tone a little bit, says his piece, and then kind of starts ramping up towards the end. But that's what I'm talking about, man. The way that you speak to people, the tone that you present yourself with can in and of itself be a de-escalation tool. And anyways, I just wanted to point that out because I don't know who that R4 was, but that was, again, good on you for that moment. Now that I actually re-listened to it again, I kind of picked that up this time. Yeah. Cole Richards, Jason and VC is oddly similar to dark Discord chats, lol. Sonny, you know Jason as well as anyone. Oh, it's Kingdom. Okay, Abda. I highly doubt they would ever propose something like that because demanding for an apology and diplomacy means you don't want to do diplomacy. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue probably could be one way of looking at it. Oh my gosh, dude, that was, I'm gonna be honest, man, that was pretty nuts. God, I mean, dude, there was so many good moments in that. Oh man, I can't wait. We're gonna go through the KvK chat now. I cannot wait to go through this, man, because there's some bangers in here. Let me see if I can catch up on chat though real quick. I don't think Lady messaged me. We're good. Gridiron Abda, you're right. IMFS doesn't, because we do not trust YSS. They need us more than we need them. We hold the cards. Yeah, Trader, you should talk. You should talk to Warlin. Oh, is that who the R4 was? Slippy popcorn. Abdi, you know nothing about diplomacy. Why are you talking like you do? Bro, IMFS needs YSS way more than they need you because they can zone lock y'all before final zone. What? Zoko also, what's up? 100%. Amp, what's up? You think we care about YSS? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think YSS cares about IMFS as much as IMFS doesn't care about YSS. I think that has been fairly stated from both sides. Dark says, Jason came in making a demand. Isn't that what everyone blamed YSS for? Making a demand and not negotiating? Interesting. I mean, the thing about it, I think, is that you can argue I mean, the difference, I think, between the first diplomacy conversation is that it lasted longer and there was a lot more conversation that was had. And that was probably fairly because all of it was done in text, right? So I don't think that they all got into a VC at any point, I think, during the initial team discussions. And so it, clearly lasted a little bit longer than that VC lasted. So it's like, damn, at that point. Again, it's just two different situations. It's probably easy. I think maybe you could also have made the argument, maybe they should have done it in text. That could be another angle, which is that, if that there was a chance of the spark being lit and the fuse being lit and it, blowing up so much faster than it did in text, maybe you should have said, hey, maybe we'll just do it in text. But also this is interesting from the NTS angle, because now I feel like this potentially could damage NTS a bit, whereas nobody was really looking at NTS with any kind of, oh, well, no, they're good, man. They're just kind of like, they're just like, it sucks, dude. They're just kind of getting, you know, the brunt of it all. But if any of that is true and NTS added in Jason and added in IMFS without telling anyone from YSS, as Dark said, you know, I mean, Tomato's response, if that was Tomato's response, or if it was, I think they said it was someone else's response about, oh, well, we thought this was just a final zone conversation. You know, obviously I'd want to hear that from other people. But I think that's the only area where maybe NTS could be damaged a little bit, because what if they didn't do that? Now, I don't necessarily think Mark would do that. That's not really something that I would kind of put him on for doing. I just wouldn't imagine NTS doing that. But I mean, if we're covering both sides, and if it did happen, then yeah, I mean, that seems a little rough. But again, I'd have to see that. Dark says, love delusional TFS members, always entertaining. AMF, and then you weren't fighting NXW. El Who, you guys, dude. The ones who got backpacker KvK. SP, Dark said, down boy, nobody give a single F about you. We wanted to have a nice zone. But you're being a loser with your past grudges. Ginger, IMFS, literally ruining their allies season by blaming YSS and deciding to just say, oh, well, season's over. Good luck, NTS. You can't say you're fighting NXW all season when you only play on your territory. I don't know. Did they only play on their territory? But again, I don't know if that was the case for NXW as well. I wish I could have just sat there and watched all. I'm sure Guns would probably know, because he was probably streaming most of it. Z Cole, EIS holds the record for the longest time stuck in zone 1 of COD. Congratulations, Dark. Wait, really? They do? Abda talking too much. This is alliances are politics. You guys, man. Oh, Lord. Straightforward checked. Easy profile. He has 7 wins versus 10 wins. EIS. TFS doesn't exist anymore. You dumped waffles. It's IMFS. Yeah, we know. Rallying on the field and we fight. Lol, it's obvious open field NXW has been stronger, so it doesn't make sense to push down a ramp. Use your brain, lol. I mean, if that's true, fair. I hope Easy reaches 10 before the game dies. Wait, what? Jeez. Dang, EIS is the highest record of Zone 1 and the highest record of most dragons. Interesting how that works. Sonny, if I'm rage baiting and telling the truth, then that really means someone is wrong. Something is wrong with the alliance I'm targeting. Highest record for most dragons. I did. Nipper says, what's up, Nipper? Someone say you will fight us all season, but you haven't fought us for the past few days now. All Ginger says all IMFS has to do is ignore YSS on the field and assist NTS. We YSS can handle ourselves, simple as she. But nope, they just want to farm more mana next season. Disband. EAS only did Diplo win. When you did Diplo win, Dark Boy, you were Zone 1. Sonny, you're just trolling them at this point. I love how TFS goes from Dark never wins to Dark Diplo wins. I mean, fair. Diplo win ain't a win. Oh, I see. He meant like a Diplo win pre-KvK, but it just didn't end up going that way. I'm going to be honest, man. Some of these are getting deep. I gotta think. I gotta think about some of these stuff. Yeah. Yuko, what's up, man? My favorite season of EAS was when we dodged an award to test cardboard Eliana talent trees. Frizzy, what's up, man? Boss Daddy, what up, baby? So certain alliances are so strong, don't need others as much. They need them, and others don't care about being zone locked. Then why don't? Then why not just do the KvK? Someone take win. I know, right? Imagine talking cut from your own alliance members and ours buying. Yeah, they popped one bastion from a double rally because it seems like instead of just fighting and looting, it's prize negotiating. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong there. All right, let's go through some chat. Finally, Let's see what they have in store for us. What goodies they have for us right now. Let me see. Team is pushing the sugar daddy. Who invested in me, Joe? Nothing. Oh, what's this? Oh, here's PZ. Nothing against the players of YSS. Your allies' leadership is just too green and influenced by Dark Lol, so I'd rather them suffer. Who we are merged team, not TFS. What's up with... Wait, why is that coming from the YSS person, though? Oh my gosh. When it comes about femboy victim, it's always there. Damn, Phantom. What are we trying to ruin now? In the mood. I'll keep focusing on us. Focus on yourself. Definitely could have helped y'all at your zone 2 situation. But the enemy is smart like a toothpick. Wait, what? Dude, this is good. I'm really busy gathering intelligence and doing analysis on my stellar performance. Sorry, that's good. Oh my god. Dude, these are great. I'm confused. Okay, time to leave my spot. Two-way says one. Wait, frozen butter is hard though? Okay, that was a response. What else we got? Oh, here we go. Fluffy, my guy, can't even with properly kill auto darkling. Wait, what? What was that one? YSS versus the world tomorrow. You can. Wait, what happens to... Oh, Supreme is, yeah. Yo, nobody cares about statue for where we have mana nodes. Good. Yeah, I know. I'm Mystic. I'm always being called in the chat. Dude. You can, well, he ruined the KvK for 7 Kingdoms, so we agree there. Everyone knows Dark's... Didn't know Dark had influence on 7 Kingdoms. Oh, he doesn't look like Iron Throne owner. Fair. Keep playing Dark. Keep playing Dark. Do absolutely nothing for you. All this KvK. He's lucky. None paying me for doing nothing. True. LMAO. Only winner here is him. He ruined the KvK Diplo made, so he doesn't have to war lead at all. And getting paid for it. Hey, nice job. No, they won't load. They can have fun going through the maze of towers, and once they do, we just go back to zone 2. Dude, wouldn't that be nuts? Great plan. Who is the author? Oh my god. Gridiron Fluffy will be fine. Yeah, man. Let me see. There are still people in this KvK who think we're going to defend that zone 3. Dude, I'm just going to say, man, like, you know, that's the other thing about it too as well. Let me load this up real quick because I just want to show this real quick on, where is this? Hang on, let me load this real quick. Okay. Can I load in here? Awesome. Let me load in here real quick. So let me load this. So this is the other angle here on, right? So let's look at this. YSS Zone 3, they're chilling. I imagine they're probably, okay, so they're not pushing anymore, right? Maybe waiting for some more flags, etc. They are over here as well, right? Because they're potentially going to assist NTS if WB makes it there. Now, I guess based on this, they're probably not going to make it there. So they probably actually don't even have to worry about that because they were able to hold their own, NTS was, in Zone 2, right? Because they basically needed to break this choke in order to get over to their level 4 pass. So NTS is solid, right? I mean, dude, look at the amount of forts they have. It almost makes me wonder if it almost makes me wonder if NTS's plan in the Zone 2 was basically like, let's just defend this area. Like, I wonder if that was just essentially their entire plan, is there's no need to push. Worst case, we'll just defend this Riverline choke. We get Hydra and we just chill. Because, I mean, they got 8 forts to WB's 4, double them. They got their Zone 3 protected, so they don't have to worry about that. And by the time the level 4 pass is open, I mean, the only thing WB can do is continue to push them here because they have to break this in order to get them there. So at this point, based on how that looks, I mean, and I guess at the same time, it almost feels like if 225 holds on as well, yo, 2 loose for the goose, what up, baby? So, Lady Azura, what's up? Welcome. So, based on this, they don't really have, because, I mean, again, if NXW isn't going to break 225 at either of the ramps, then they've protected their Zone 3. So, now it's just a matter of how hard are they going to go here at the level 4 passes? Like, are they actually going to defend this against YSS, or are they going to follow through with what we've been hearing a little bit, which is that they're just going to be like a cone and let YSS just take it and not get any PvP out of it? Now, I will say, dude, that would be the ultimate, like, that would be the ultimate, like, F you. You know, kindly saying it. But I mean, yeah, just like not giving them anything. I mean, to the extent of where, yeah, like the only way, I guess, what, right, they'd get anything is if they ended up fighting at the pass, right? Where's the, it's not semi-protected, right? Can't you go either way? Or am I tripping? Do I need to read the rules on this? Can you go either way on this? Legions cannot move through a pass that does not belong to your alliance warband. Defeated legions cannot move through any pass. Cities cannot be. Yeah, can you go out and in, or is it only, or sorry, can you go in, out? Can you go from the Zone 3 to the Zone 2? You can, right? Or am I tripping balls? Oh, hang on. Only alliances have occupied Behemoth. The Behemoth layer passes. Okay, yeah. Looks like they should be able to, right? If they just occupy Behemoth. Isn't that the way it's always worked? Am I tripping on this? Can someone confirm this for me? Am I cray-cray? I can definitely go in and out. Damn it, bro. Just give me an answer. We don't need your sexy time in here. Oh, it's for the affiliated region. Okay. So that means all they can do is go into the Zone 3 then. Oh, did it say that there? Am I tripping? Why doesn't it say semi then? Why? Oh, does it only say semi once it opens? Is that what happens? Because I thought some of the passes already said semi before. Anyways, okay, fair enough. I just wish that was a little bit more clear. Like, I wish there was a line on here that said, like, you can only go in from the Zone 2, but you can't go from the Zone 3 out. Unless that's once all the passes open near the end of the Augerstone, but... Hydra Dragon, okay. Okay, well, in that case then, if that's true, then that basically just means that YSS is just only going to be able to stuck in the Zone 3, and the only way they're going to get any action then would be if NXW breaks the 225 line here, and they can go all the way up here and then push through the level 4 pass. So, yeah, basically the short version here is that, yeah, I guess the short version here, dude, what if, I just want to point something out here. What if, and this is just, I don't know if this is a hot take. I just thought about this right now. Wouldn't it be crazy if 225 doesn't defend the Zone 3? Listen, what if 225 doesn't defend the Zone 3? They stick it to YSS. They let YSS take over the Zone 3, right? They hold NXW here, right? Just so YSS doesn't get any potential free PvP from NXW by them going up to level 4 pass into the Zone 3 if they did. And then 225 waits for the final zone to open. They wait for the sides to start engaging, right? Whether it's tips touching or if it's close to that. And then right when YSS is in the thick of it, they pull off a Leroy Jenkins and just start pushing in, like basically behind them. And then they go into the zone 2 and try and basically start hitting them in the back. Dude. Right? What happens if they wait for their moment and then they just start sandwiching them from the back and just pushing all that territory in, and then what they do is this. They milk it so hard, right? So what they do is they push, but then the moment if YSS opts to stop pushing the final zone and they try to focus the majority of their people on 225, the 225 people then pull back. And they just keep playing tag with them the entire time, literally not giving them any consistent sense of merits. They're just playing with their hearts at that point, man. Wouldn't that be absolutely diabolical if they did that? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you really wanted to mess with them, oh my God, that'd be the way. Be like they hit it from the back strategy. Dude, I'm just saying. That'd be nuts. That'd be absolutely nuts if that happened. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Locate. It may be BN that suggested that we do that. Oh wait, what does Zura say here? Passes not protect who. Not protect who, not have the word info in its info card. Oh, will not have it. Okay. I mean, that'd be nice if it did. If you know, you know, my pet lady. He's about to suggest it again. It's always just the tip. There's almost a benefit besides ego for NXW to push TFS. Yeah. If it's that or they push our zone 2 to steal my precious Hydra, whom I have named Larry. That's so good. Easy peasy BN revealing our plans. I don't know, man. I'm just saying that'd be nuts. It's not worth it for us to push IMFS in that zone. It would be free merits for them. Larry will be mine. Oh, so just the tip and the reward is coming in from behind. BN got the good ideas. Guys are disgusting. Even our 4 IMFS told you they will not give YSS PvP. Yeah. Ponkat, what's up, man? Yeah, we're on to easy. We put in your chats and IMFS can totally push NXW in zone 2. That would be expected, but NXW can be in zone 2 and final zone. I mean, that's true, right? I mean, if you think about it, that could actually be IMFS's play as well. If they, you know, just didn't care for doing anything to YSS, they could, the moment the fighting starts, just try and push them through there. And then, again, I mean, that would help NTS and YSS in that case, basically create a 2v2 in the final zone, you know. But obviously, they'd have to kind of all in that situation. Who knows if that's going to end up happening. Yeah. Add NXW can stop IMFS pushing in zone 2 and BNFZ. Yeah, BN don't like eye contact is what you're saying. We've only been up front this whole time about fighting in zone 2 the entire KvK. Yeah. Loopy, what's up, man? But that's the best part, while licking lips. Earlier, I mentioned someone suggested we just let IMFS into our zone 3 so they can enter FZ. I mean, great job. Might be up front, but the strat is from behind, apparently. Done, man. IMFS will totally push out zone 2 while we are in FZ, trying to find out who dared to try to steal Larry from me. Amp says Larry will be stolen. Amp. Bonke both sides annoying me. He said, she said, children, yeah. We'll never be a 2v2 in FZ. NXW will always be there, yeah. Crit Larry will be mine. No, go away, Amp. Rax, damn, anyone else get a chub when being looked you in the eyes? Being is just finding out how fruity NXW is. How serious our gooning ban is. Larry's name will be Harry the Hydra. Oh my god. All right. Let's continue this, man. Let's see what else chat has for us. Most kids in this KvK played 3v2 FZ only 2 seasons ago. Boring for everyone. Yeah, I mean, you're right there. If I were a member of the 225 and didn't defend my zone 3, I would be ashamed. Most epic dragon ever run CoD history. It's shameful to leave a zone free just for ego. You're going to lose a lot of members if you continue thinking like that. You do not remember the epic fight of WB, NXT, BTX, WOTFS. IMFS disband soon. You forgot NTS, bro. Sorry, I meant epic final zone fight. For the 3rd time, TFS is unable to perform a successful merge. Wait, what? All BTS fights are epic. I can't choose one. Have the R4 members of IMFS already asked their members if they agree to not defend zone 3? The Delulu is real with this one. Well, like Dark said before season start, YSS equals BTX. Wait, what does that mean? Is that like pre-BTX when they were kind of still figuring out the activity and needed to like do a lot of trimming? Or was that like after BTX had like the good Row League season, runners up, figured it out kind of towards the end of their era? Yeah, we said since day one that we will not be giving YSS any fights on our side. Crazy, you know all his phrases. Such an amazing fan. Oh my god. It's even more funnier how you get brainwashed for him. Sounds like what a fan would do. When Dark puts his beef behind him and becomes interested in a fun final zone, so never. We won't be by the looks of it. Dark controls their leadership, lol, and he's trying to get paid without war leading and all this KvK. 25 IQ sounds like they have a chance to fight YSS. All we did was ask them to say sorry to us and the 1,000 players in this KvK who they went solo to ruin the time of. Who's the leader of the fan club? Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Dude, that's nuts, man. Getting paid to be Shadow R5 is a good gig. Dude, sign me up, bro. Getting paid to Shadow R5, but yet do nothing at all since at all is nice for sure. Homie gets to keep his car without having to do the work he's getting paid to do. I feel bad for people who left his alliance to join YSS to follow his supreme leader. Next season, need to return or look for a new home. I'm convinced half of you eat Tylenol as a snack daily. Oh my gosh. Here's Zico. And showing the diplomacy chat on Guns live stream, was that right of you guys? Yes, it was, because Dark was trying to lie and got put on blast. Can we all be friends? No, you stink. It's like, dude, what? No, you stink. It's just, bro. KJ, I love you. KJ's coming in with the one-hitter quitters. Y'all really out here feeding yourselves delusions. Crazy how some people say, I'm telling you, dude, the KvK chat is wild, fam. Just wait till we get deeper. Oh my gosh. Delusion's crazy how some people say stuck obsessing over people like that. Dark said, quote, easy zone lock for IMFS. I mean, dude, he did say easy zone lock. He did say it. We heard it. Funny thing is, after these words and videos, they will ally same. Or shame. It could have been done differently, in my opinion. How will other alliances trust you now? I mean, to be fair, I don't really think that TFS has lost any trust. Not in the same way that I think YSS has. And, you know, it doesn't mean that I think YSS is completely untrustworthy. It's not to say that. I think you have to assess the differences here. Yeah, did this voice call not look good? Like, did it look worse for TFS and Jason, or sorry, IMFS, excuse me, IMFS and Jason than it did for Dark, Tomato, and YSS? Yeah, it did. Now, that doesn't mean it was god-awful, but it definitely put a dent on the 225 image because of how this played out. Before this, I would say the stock was still on 225. Stock was high. NTS's stock was at an all-time high. YSS 357 stock was at an all-time low, based on this specific KvK. What now after the VC, I would argue that I would argue now, like the YSS stock has come up a little bit and the TFS stock has dropped a little bit based on how that was. And that's mainly because of how the initial Diplo played out when YSS left the table. Because YSS basically did what you could argue Jason just did in the VC. Except what the difference is that Jason probably left faster. So, just because it was a VC, it wasn't text, right? So I don't know if the time is comparable or relatable there. And this is mainly stemming from the fact that, right, YSS agrees to a team just like IMFS does, just like NTS does. But then when you're getting and sitting there and trying to figure out end of season rewards, everyone equally and fairly is to blame. Because like I said, when we broke down how the Diplo chats played out for their team, nobody ever came to the table and provided any kind of historical referencing from previous KvKs on how merits were gained in zone ones, if there were similar team up situations on, well, here's a kingdom that didn't get any PvP until zone 3, or here's a kingdom that didn't get any PvP until the final zone. How did that play out? What was YSS's previous merit accumulations in zone 1 or throughout the entire KvK? What were previous KvK 1 merit numbers looking like for zone 1, for final zone? Like, the data's out there, but no one took the time to just go and look it up and then bring it and say, well, look, here's some relevant data. The data supports that from, if it's coming from the IMFS perspective, the data supports saying that the median average for alliances or kingdoms that were able to accumulate a certain amount of merits throughout a zone 1 or in zone 2 fights and potentially zone 3 fights leading up to the final zone. And then you look at how many merits were gained in the final zone. So you can look at what the differentials would be on catching up for YSS and 357. And then you just figure out a number. Like, this is not rocket science, man. It's not difficult to do this. Does it take some time? Yes, it does. But it is not impossible to figure this out. If I had some time, I could figure this out. Because I know what I would need to go and get. I know what I would need to go and pull. But my point here is that because no one took the initiative to do that in the beginning, that's why I put the blame equally. But at least in that regard. But where and when I talk about YSS losing stock is because they left the conversation, right? There was not a thought from anyone, including them, on trying to come and put that out there. It was like, look, you're not going to change your mind. We're just going to leave. And yes, could you make the same argument from, well, sorry, you couldn't really make the same argument from the TFS perspective because Jason was willing to compromise. So obviously there's a big difference there. But that's why I say when you listen to the VC now, that's why I feel like it hurts a little bit of the TFS stock, which is how it played out. and then I think it raises a little bit of the, well, I don't even know if I'd say it raises the YSS stock because I should be fair here because they came into the VC conversation not with the understanding that it was going to be diplomacy related, but that it was to discuss final zone. And if it's true that they didn't know that TFS was going to join, then yeah, it doesn't really move them. Otherwise, their stock is still where it is. Still where it is. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Valley, what's up, man? Good morning. I'm not a morning person, so I'm going to give you my opinion unfiltered and run to work. Why on earth would IMFS enter a Diplo chat that's fragile at best with demands for a project? No, absolutely, Valley. I mean, listen, Valley's like, yeah, man, it sounds like rage bait. And to me, it doesn't show they genuinely wanted to participate. Total attention seeker behavior. I mean, listen, honestly, I would say that's an objectively fair assessment because, again, maybe I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I think I agree with the premise of what you're saying because I said this earlier, which is that why would Jason join the VC if he already knew how it played out before? On top of which, it's not like he joined and then started talking immediately. He joined and he saw who was there. Because when you join the VC, you can see everyone who's there, right? So in reality, let's look at this from a different angle. Here's a better way of looking at it. Jason joins the VC. Anyone else from TFS joins the VC. Why did no one ask as the very first question from the TFS side, why are all these YSS people here? Because if they asked that question, they would have been able, and maybe they did, and it just happened at a different time and we didn't hear it. But if they didn't, why didn't they ask that question? Because if they did ask that question, then they would have got the answer they needed, which is, oh, well, we're just here to discuss final zone. We didn't know that this was going to be anything more than that. And then Jason would have got his answer right away on, okay, well, this is why all these other people are here. And then he could have decided and said, okay, well, if I wanted to figure this out, or if we wanted to try and have some kind of, you know, diplomacy conversation, or even if it's just kind of this nap, maybe it doesn't really have anything to do with diplomacy, but it's like, look, let's just figure out how we can kind of do this non-aggression pact and just kind of work together in the FZ. Why not then at that point ask, you get the answer, and then you say, okay, can we make the group smaller, right? So we can maybe have a little bit more of a focused conversation. That could have happened as well. But not just from Jason, anyone else could have said that, whoever else was there from the TFS side. And then I think the second part from what you're saying there, Valley, which again, I do agree with, which is like, man, look, you know, how much does Jason preach and or do some people from TFS and even people that aren't even in, or sorry, IMFS, and even people that aren't there, like they know, like there's been VC conversations with Dark before and with anyone else that you think might be, I don't want to say problematic, but let's just say rage baity, right? Or just say people that are there where like you feel the conversation can devolve and degrade quickly. Why do you either not opt to remove yourself from that or put someone else there that won't get, right, potentially baited from that situation? I think that's fair to say as well. So again, that's why, you know, I was mentioning before, I think that there was multiple opportunities here to possibly move the conversation along to get something more out of it than what they didn't get out of it. But again, you know, maybe hindsight's 2020. Obviously, we're looking at it after the fact. But I do think that there were some obvious cues here. Yeah, if I didn't do anything, I'm just here to colonize. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of you to do that after senselessly killing them. Sonny, after all that talk and BS that preceded that VC meeting, I don't think the situation is comparable to the initial Diplo. Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I think because you have to understand, going into the VC, they already knew where they were, right? So the thing is like anytime you're coming back into like a follow-up Diplo, any kind of follow-up diplomacy conversations, usually you're having to work harder than the level you had to work in the beginning. Because when you do the initial Diplo and you're kind of figuring everything out, you know, like that was pretty easy for them. But then you look at it and it's like, okay, now you're coming back to the table under the circumstances you've left the initial one. Now you have to work harder to try and make things work out. So it's more of an uphill battle. And part of me just feels like I wonder if they all knew that going in. Yeah. SP says, he said in voice, I made Lady Azurta workhorses. Wait, what? Just rock, paper, scissors. Just rock, paper, scissors and stop being girls. This guy, man. Yeah. Azura, it's a good thing I'm not Diplo. I'm a pushover. I never would have asked for an apology. Yeah, again, that's just my take on it, right? That's not saying that I think asking for an apology is wrong by any means, or that or that 225 or Jason, you know, that they shouldn't have asked for one. I'm just saying there's got to be some level of self-awareness to pick and choose your battles here and understanding what's the bigger picture and what's the smaller picture. And to me, when I look at it from the outside in, I view the bigger picture as let's make a fun KvK for everyone. I mean, dude, think about this, right? Think about this. Let's play out the fantasy stock draft here. You know what could have potentially got TFS like the ultimate stock? I mean, listen, their stock is already, 225. Their stock is already still pretty high, right? Based on everything. But what could have pushed it over the edge for them is think about what would have happened if they came into the conversation and they took the NTS approach and just said, dude, look, we're going to be the bigger man. Like, we're not going to work with you guys ever again. Or, you know, like, again, even if they wanted to put their foot in the sand you know, and say whatever they needed to say. But they said, look, you know, we'll work with the team. We're not working with you, but we're not going to work against you. And they just kind of go and do their thing. They don't even coordinate with YSS. And then they're the ones who get ahead of it all. They make the announcement, they make it public that they're the ones now sacrificing. And they're the ones making sure that they can do the best job they can for the community. That could have been a narrative. That could have been a storyline that they took and they ran with, right? So, you know, it just, again, man, like I said, there's a number of ways that I think things could have played out. Absolutely. And, you know, we can always kind of, you know, assess it and overanalyze. But I will say, I did like listening to the VC because I found it to at least be incredibly educational, hopefully, for people out there. It's just like, look, man, you know, it might be a KvK1, and you might have a lot of people that are spending a lot of money and are hoping for the best outcome and the most PvP they can get, and for a great KvK where everyone feels equally engaged and feel like they can equally win. But dude, just because it's a KvK1 does not mean diddly squat. Yeah, PZ says, NTS and YSS have a shot only with IMFS help in Final Zone. We all saw how Hunt MFT match marches performed today, non-threat. Dear Lord. COD Sunny, threatening to zone lock is a big red line. Yeah. Yeah. Rex says, remind me to demand Lady for Diplo talks, if ever verse them. Easy wins, easier if just offer mac and cheese. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about it is once this KvK ends, I'll have all the data. Like, I'll have all the data for how they performed in their like all the merits they were able to gain in Zone 1 from merit farming, how everyone performed merits and PvP activity and PvP stats for Zone 2. I'll have all that for Zone 3. I'll have for what they did in the final zone and then for what they did throughout the entire KvK. Like, I'll have all of that data. We'll have it on the KvK analytics site. So if anyone ever needs to go back and refer to it, if they find themselves in a similar situation, it'll be there, right? It just sucks that, you know, that stuff wasn't there already before. You know, like, I wish I would have had that stuff there already, right? Because then, you know, Jason and whomever else could have just went on there real quick and been like, all right, man, well, you know, here's the data from the past couple KvKs and what, you know, on the total merits we were able to gain. Here's what we were able to gain in final zone. Here's what we did in Zone 1, right? Let's figure out a number. But it's like, there's all the stats. It's all right there for you. Obviously, easy peasy. TFS deadweight acts like a fighter. Damn, bro, they love you so much. Zach just saying nothing better. Homie hit us with, who gonna trust you all for showing the truth? I'm just saying both sides made mistakes. I mean, I think you could say that's fair. Maybe fair up to now. Yeah. I think the 1,000+ players who got their KvK1 ruined are pretty happy that the full leadership chat was shared publicly. Lol. I mean, I bet you I'm sure a number of people were. The diplomacy chat is not shown in a live stream. It's simple. You could only be mad about that if you were trying to hide something or wanted to lie to your members. It wouldn't have been shown if Dark wasn't trying to spread lies about it, LMAO. They didn't lie. They straight up told us that IMFS is tarded, and we believe it. What? I think everyone should play as they want, knowing that some decisions can have consequences, good or bad, yeah. I hate dark themes more than anyone here, but that's just my opinion. How jealous of Dark taking free money. I just don't understand how you're sharing awards that you don't have. Remember, guys, you miss every award you don't take. Spiteri. Oh my gosh. Hey, sweetie. You want to come? Okay. You want to come? Come on. I know, sweeties. I know. Yeah. Mommy. What is it? Mommy. Oh, she's coming. I know. Mm-hmm. She's coming. Okay, let's see. Did mommy say something? Oh, they're coming home. They're on their way back. Yeah. Mommy's coming. She's on her way.
Really?
Yep. Okay. Now she's fine. Let me see here. Savior. Oh shoot, we get zone locked from a zone 3. Oh. Not that. There you go. Unfortunate. What if YSS doesn't win an MFD? Still gets Dragon. One of those I wouldn't let YSS pick up. Dude, this is crazy. I wouldn't let YSS pick up my McDonald's. Bro, that is intense. Oh my gosh, what a bar. Why YSS wants to end a season if they're going to disband losing or winning? No. You know what? Funny enough, that's actually somewhat of a decent point, right? This is not a bad point here, which is, and I mean, again, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing that I'm saying you can make a good point. But what I will say is, here's another angle now going into this VC conversation. The likelihood of them figuring out or even caring about end of season rewards at this point, like you would have to, like YSS and IMFS would legitimately have to be thinking that either of them can truly win if they joined up with the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they would legitimately have to think that about each other going into this VC conversation, to where they would even still be having conversations about end of season rewards. Because up to this point, I would almost think, dude, let's just scrap end of season rewards. Let's figure that out at the end. I mean, that's a fair way of putting it too. Why not fight? Like, not fight, but I just mean, why not remove the whole EOS rewards from the table? Don't even factor that in. Fight it out and figuring it out later. And again, that might actually end up just being what's best for them in this situation if they're not going to be able to kind of figure anything out and come to an agreement anyways. And that's kind of what Mark was saying in the beginning, which is like, don't worry about the rewards, figure it out later. Yeah, or there you go, Gridiron. Yeah, and that's the case. Just give NTS Dragon, and then IMFS and YSS can just agree to do some kind of like random number generator or coin flip. Let Mark moderate it, and then whoever gets that gets the other end reward, and the other one gets the other one. Bam, you're done. Yeah. So, I mean, just, yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, unless it's just so far gone that it's, you know, with where they're at now, like unless it's so far gone, it's just like there's just no coming back from it, right? From the IMFS, from the YSS perspective. Yeah. I want more nodes. At this rate, you're not even going to get the merits, Amber. Jeez. Leon, I watched last BN video and Gun said 10 people fighting. He can assist. Let me see. This new imp. Yeah, I saw that too. IMFS wouldn't be a great help with 10 people online anyways. Jeez. Is it? I have 8 seals. Painted by PN Comical. Yes, unless they change it currently. The new. Oh, here we go. Because they're too busy making YouTube shorts about YSS being inactive. 26 online statue tomorrow. Wait, what? Oh my god. Dude, what are you talking about? I don't bait anyone, man. Never. IMFS was strong, lost against NSW again, now sits in zone 1 until end of season awards. Just enjoy it. No Supreme statue tomorrow. We supposed to be a session where Chip didn't tell me. I'm ready for new Home Kingdom game. Glad we could start early. All good, guys. Hug that. Dude, that's diabolical. All good, guys. Hug that giant you earned. It's so much. Jeez. Last year, unfortunately, it was 2v1. Blade, Jason, I'm sorry. Oh my god, man. Congrats to Dark on getting free money to not get his car repoed. Porsche. Oh my god. Doesn't matter whatever car it is, he can afford it. What? Oh my god. Where are we going? Wait, what? Every merit we get, he gets $1,000. I wonder what Alliance pays him next season. You don't know Dark has been paid to War Lead for you to join. I thought that was common knowledge, the car payment thing. The car payment was in one of BN's videos where Dark told the artist to sell he used money he owed for his car. Oh, yeah, maybe that did happen. I can't recall. The only thing matters is YSS will slap IMFS 1v1. Dude! Oh my god. You know what I was going to just say? You know what I was just going to say? Another idea is that I just thought of, that I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I almost wonder why didn't IMFS and Jason, or sorry, why didn't IMFS and YSS just say, let's battle it out in Zone 2, and the winner of Zone 2 gets, or whatever, you could say like whoever holds Hydra, right? Whatever you want to set, right? So it's not too egregious and it doesn't last that long. Why don't you just say whoever won between them gets, or like, no, sorry, if either of them perform better, why not just say whoever wins gets end of season awards? Like, you could have done that too as well. That would have been another option at that point. Yeah. Yo, Gunsy Poo, what up, baby? Guns, you should come on stream. I'm already looking forward to Siege KvK. Haha, this is exhausting. Dude, 100, man. 100. I mean, absolutely. No, I'm telling you, bro, I need Guns. I'm gonna be honest, man. There was just so many good clips, man. There's so many good clips from your stream. I still don't know where. I was waiting for someone to share with me the one where you did the exhausted face, because like, dude, that was absolutely epic. When I saw that, but I don't know the context surrounding it, so I don't know what you were talking about. Oh no, someone said that a Bastion was getting hit, I think is what someone said. But I again, I don't know everything. They only told me a little bit. So, but yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty nuts. I mean, listen, man, don't get me wrong. I'm always happy to talk about anything. But I'm sure to some people it probably is getting it's probably getting worn out for a number of people. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Was just him reacting to someone stealing his TP spot. Oh, that's what it was? Oh, okay. Still, though, I would have liked to watch that. You know, let me vicariously, watch through Guns to feel how it, to see how it feels. Yeah, people focusing on their little side stories and drama, but at the end of the day, it's just a ruined KvK for everyone. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Gun says NXW beat IMFS, YSS already lost against WB, and WB can't beat NTS. Give NTS Dragon simple, but too many egos. I mean, to be fair, I mean, not wrong, right? And again, that's what some other people have said, which is like, do that, everyone fights it out, and then if IMFS and NTS really care about whatever the next reward is, or whatever they value to be the second reward, then just flip a coin. You know, if it's really that important. I mean, at this point, to me, it feels like the more important aspect is people trying to get the most amount of PvP, trying to get the most amount of fighting, and for it to not just end in a complete dud of a KvK. I mean, dude, just imagine how disappointing that is, right? I mean, listen, like, let's just talk about it real quick from the 225 side. How much does it suck? How much does it probably suck for some of the 225 people, if this is true, where they will not give YSS any PvP when they ultimately invade the Zone 3, and 225 players are told let's back, right? And and keep in mind, some people, I'm sure in 225, some people in 225 just don't care. Like, they're probably fine with sticking the L to YSS. Fair enough. But I don't believe you can say every single person in 225 is okay or happy with taking like an extreme L on PvP for the season. Like, there's no way you can sell me on that. I don't care if you did a vote and 99% of the people said they were okay with it. There's just no way that you can basically go with not only missing out on any. Now, again, like I said, maybe they'll continue fighting NXW. Maybe they'll push them down. Maybe the Zone 2 will be where they continue to get more PvP action. But if their Zone 3 gets invaded and they don't put up a fight, and they're effectively zone locked out of Zone 3, and who knows if they'll make it to Final Zone, at that point, you only have a few options. It's either you push NXW in Zone 2, you push YSS in their Zone 2 from the back, or you push them from the back in Zone 3. But it still doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get as much overall PvP as you might. Probably the best case scenario would maybe be if you push NXW, possibly. Like I just don't know if I would see YSS giving up any PvP action in the Final Zone, even if you're just trying to stick it to them really hard, right? Unless you start getting really, really close to them. Whereas NXW would probably give you more action right away. And again, maybe that's the play, is they don't care about the Zone 3 and they're just going to fight NXW all season long, because at least that way their players will still get some PvP out of it. They don't give YSS anything. But then you also have to look at it from the other angle. Well, if they're keeping NXW busy, then now that gives YSS and NTS more of a chance of being able to win out the Final Zone. So do they want that? It's just like, man, I'm telling you, bro, this feels like, I feel like I'm playing Mass Effect and I'm just going down all these different branches, all these different storylines of what could happen. It's like, obviously we'll know once it does, but damn, man, does it just kind of suck? It just does. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. It just kind of sucks. Yes, I mean, I feel, and it's like I said in my video, man, like I feel what Guns is saying. I mean, it seems pretty spot on. Wangu is YSS pushes IMFS Zone 3, then they are screwing over NTS, who has been in the middle. Wait, I don't get it. Why would YSS screw over NTS? Because they would just enter in from their pass, and then YSS just enters in from their Zone 3 pass, or they want to enter in from the IMFS ones, because then we can't get to FZ to help. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I figured that was a given. Sorry. I just assumed that that's exactly what they were going to do. So it wasn't a thought to me to think anything else. So my bad. So are you saying there's still hope? Like, sorry, my bad, Wangu. Were you saying that like there was still hope in the sense of maybe YSS will push in, but they'll only go halfway and they'll leave you guys a level 5 pass to still get in? Because I'm over here thinking to myself, like, they don't care. Like, they're on the same playing field as how IMFS feels about them as much as how YSS feels about IMFS. They don't care. Okay, Wangu's saying there is a light down the hall. Okay, all right, touche. I have the IMFS should easily be able to hold YSS. Take notes from NTS. Yeah.
Hey, Mommy!
Oh, yeah.
Mommy.
There they are. Oops. Awesome. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. Let me just go see if the lady needs any help real quick. All right, fam. We're back. I just had to go help the lady bring some stuff in. Cause she just got back, so just had to help a little bit. Yeah, we'll probably wrap up here in a few. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Where did I finish? Oh God. Oh, Addis says IMFS should easily be able to hold YSS. Take notes. I mean, I think it also depends on if they actually just even want to give them anything, though. Like, I think that's probably the bigger point. Yeah. They're giving MFD and Hunt too much credit. Is there more like 2 versus 2.5? I mean, that's kind of what I said, which is not any offense to them. It's just, it's where they are, right? And the fact that they got placed in this KvK when both of them agreed, it's like, yeah, man, it shouldn't really have happened. Spackler, what's up, man? It's 3 with 3 for FZ. We aren't holding YSS. We aren't giving them action. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be more of, I think, what it is. Yes, we could have to, but why reward YSS with fights? Yeah. K201 server, what's up, man? Welcome. That dog was talking mad trash about me. I heard it. The dog. Easy rib, yeah, man. Heading out for the night. Have a great night, BN. Take care. Later, fam. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man. We will be just fine. Already got YSS members lined up to join next season, lol. Wangu, me, Ezzy, Guns, need a 4th for Halo grind. Dude, Wangu, dude, do I need to download Halo, man? Dude, I used to play. I didn't realize Guns played Halo. Like, he'd like that. Okay, because kicking YSS booty would give everyone in IMFS a morale boost. Y'all hate them, saying it's not about giving them fights is dumb. You would also guarantee they won't win. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like a mad situation, right? A mutually assured destruction at that point, because I think, yeah, I'm like, don't get me wrong, IMFS and YSS I'm sure would love to fight it out against each other, but then it's like the moment that you start fighting it out against each other, at least before you get to the final zone, it's just like the moment you start fighting it out, it's almost like you're just declaring like we've given up on the final zone. Right? Like it's more of a visual. It's a visual admittance at that point. At least that's one of the ways how it looks to me. Only morale boost would be gun shaking ass on stream. I'd pay for it. How do I donate to that? How do I donate to that? How to get the Citadel gun? That is an easy skip. Burnt, what's up, man? So did YSS, NTS, IMFS are allies now? No. If anything, it's farther away. It's just when you thought it couldn't get any farther, it's farther. After trying to talk about math is like Dark trying to talk Diplo. Yeah. And I mean, look, there's even Abd saying, right? Hunt MFD is a 0.5, especially after statue. And I mean, it just is what it is, right? That's not any shade on Hunt or MFD. It's just, that's just where they are in comparison to KvK1. I think that's fair. Crayons, what's up, man? They got 4 Bastions ready to come in. Oh. TJ, what's up, man? IMFS is scared to fight YFSS because they know they get stopped according to Dark. Gridiron, that's how... There's no Dark spins at YSS. Wangu, saw you got some coaching vids. Easy needs the help. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Man. Yeah, dude, if you guys are playing some Halo, maybe I might hop in, man. That man, I mean, I used to play a while ago. Like, oh my God, I couldn't even take it last time I touched Halo. Jeez. At least not Halo Wars, which is the RTS. Well, yeah, God, man, this sounds fun. Yeah, I watch a couple Halo streamers. Anytime I have some time, if they come up on my feed, I'll always watch a little bit. Trax, what's up, man? IMFS holding YSS, haha, dream on. TJ and then IMFS grow some balls and prove Dark wrong. Wonga, we have no balls. You got us. My balls are in my wife's purse. What is happening? BZ, now we would be giving Dark what he wants, not doing that. Neither has anything to gain by fighting each other. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're saying, right? There's no point. I don't think there's really a point in them fighting each other. I mean, the only reason you would fight each other is if you are literally just telling the world at that time, we do not care. The KvK is over. It's done. And at the same time, if you think about that, it would also be demoralizing to the other side, to the team of 4. Because the moment that YSS and IMFS, like if they really truly go hard and fight each other, you're just basically saying GG at that point, right? And it's not only affecting you. That's when it's truly going to affect everyone. Like that's when I think the toll would really take effect in a grander way. Lags is Dark the one that sounds like Mark Wahlberg? Wait, what? Easy Dark wants to zone lock you. I think that's evident. Isn't preventing him from zone locking you the best thing you can do to crush his mental? Now my favorite TFS member, always contradicting statements. Easy, there's literally zero chance you don't get zone locked if you don't put up a resistance. Gate 4 to 5 is 6 days long. Yeah. First he says I want to be paid to war late to not have to war the whole season. Now he says I want them to come to fan. Wait, what? Dark can want to zone lock us all he wants, but at the end of the day, he's going to be a good boy and listen to his employer and not touch us. It's funny because YSS and NTS still have a chance at FZ, and TFS fighting YSS in Zone 3 would guarantee YSS don't win. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely it would. But to be fair, you could argue the same, though, from IMFS and 225 just opting not to do anything. Because then at that point, it's still, you know, yeah, it's still like a 2 versus 2.5 in the final zone at that point. Right, one of the dudes in Diplo chat sounds like he's from Rogan. No, dude, that was Jason. Yeah. Jason got that accent. Dark says I prefer not to touch TFS or IMFS on STD free, dear Lord. Wonga, everyone says zone lock is bad. Just means we don't have to wake up early for FC. Hey, Wonga looking at the brighter side, baby. The one that was like, let me say it in English so there's no confusion. Yeah, that was Jason. Dude, I will say, man, Jason is funny. Like, he's just, you got to at least love and I think respect and appreciate his kind of 0 F's given approach at times where he just says it with his chest, man. You know, he's unapologetically authentic in that way. Super Knight, what's up? Welcome. Have to Sunny, there's no such thing as a free win. MFT and 100 team, you'll have 80% chance at winning. My bad, I meant no offense. I just have a chuckle at the accent because good comedy actor. The trigger's funny as yeah. Gridiron zone lock us so I can keep some BTO. Dude, that's great. What a statement. What a statement. Oh my god. Oh man. Well, yeah, listen, fam. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. This is stopped. Continue here. Okay. Just I gotta make I gotta make a little note for myself. I gotta make a little note for myself. Yeah, dude, too bad I can't yeah, dude, too bad there's not a way for me to save this. Yeah, that sucks. Anyways. rescued here. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm wishing them the best in the KvK. I hope something comes of it, but I think no matter what, it's going to be. I mean, even if we look at Augur here, right? Salvation is next. So you got the Cross Zone 3 passes that are opening in 3.5 days. Today's the 26th. You got 1, 2, 3. That's going to be Friday evening, Saturday morning at that point. So, yeah, I mean, the weekend is when those are going to open. I mean, you'll know right then and there what's going to happen. It's either they're going to fight it out or they're not. So, you know, I think that's when we'll have a better idea on. I think that'll be the next telling part is what happens in Zone 3, because I think that'll really set the tone. I think that's really going to set the tone and kind of be somewhat of a decider for people. So we'll see. But fam, listen, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been great. I will absolutely do a solo video and breakdown of the VC. I'll probably have that up tomorrow, along with any other. I think there was an announcement that somebody posted. I saw. I don't know if Abda forwarded it or something. I thought I saw something on COD Gen Chat. So, and if there's anything else that we find from now until the morning, again, I'll be covering. I'll break down the VC in a shorter video, and then we'll go. Marcus Leakers. Hey man, I didn't ask for anything. It was just sent. This guy. Devs will come fix matchmaking before GTA 6 comes out. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for hanging out. Like I said, we're going to try and cover some more wars too as well. And as always, man, listen, I always tell people, you got a lead, you got a screenshot, you got a voice clipping, you got video, you got a potential story on something, man, I'm always happy to look into something and cover it. One of the things I absolutely love talking about is news from around the game. And anytime we have that and you know it's something exciting we can cover, it's something that we feel like we can present it and talk about it from a good angle, it's always a good time. So that's it for me. You guys take care. Hope everyone has a great rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you might be, and we'll catch you in the next one.